Beastmaster.
Mirana.
Venomancer.
Chen.
Hell yeah, guys. What is happening? The Capitalist here with DotaLive.net, and we're bringing you guys the JeeDota 2 Championship number 2. Sorry, guys, this is a little bit, sort of last minute, pretty much. We just had to jump in the game real fast, so we just announced on Facebook and Twitter, and we are just now getting in the game, and it's all very scrambled. But actually, let's forget about everything else, because right now we already got a smoke coming out from the Radiant going into the jungle. I like this. This is automatically they're just searching for that first blood. But it looks like they might not get it, but it looks like the Dire's hanging back. So what we got going on here is we got team the Tough Bananas on the Radiant side versus team Megashock
30 seconds
on the Dire, led by the Lucky One. And we didn't really get to go over picks and bans, obviously, because they had to remake for us in order to jump into the game. Because, like I said, very last minute. And it's just gonna be me, just gonna be solo casting this one. We couldn't get any sort of competitive insight or co-caster in for you guys. So sorry about that. You're just gonna have to listen to me drone on. But what we got going on here? Let's go top to bottom, left to right. We'll go over who's playing what. We got Calculus on Windrunner, S4 on Beastmaster, Buller on Shadow Demon. Hip Hop, not Pop, Earthshaker, Balsam on Weaver, and then over on the Dire side, the Team Megashock. We got Lucky One on Venomancer, Villa on Viper, Zeldo on Mirana, Evil's Near on Chen, and Atsi on Sand King. And I'm sure I, completely butchered half of those names. All of the ones that aren't really, based in English. But it looks like we're gonna gate coming on here. Shadow Demon already hitting the disruption, landing up for Windrunner to get some nice damage shots in. He's easily gonna go down here, especially with the nuke coming out from Beastmaster. So first blood already going out to the Tough Bananas. Nice little gank coming out. Just the wards, unfortunately, were at bottom instead of top, so Viper had no idea that there was gonna be a double damage Windrunner coming in to gank him. And meanwhile, it looks like we're gonna see what is it, going to be possibly a dual lane here with Windrunner Earthshaker and then Shadow Demon babysitting the Beastmaster in the middle, which is going to help out a lot because Viper is just so good in the middle. I mean, the first blood is helpful, but it's still not enough yet. I really feel that Beastmaster is just going to be able to harass, Viper is going to be able to harass Beastmaster, and until he gets a couple levels in him, it's going to be really hard for him to stay in lane. But actually it looks like Shadow Demon is going bottom now. It's going to be Venomancer is versus the Weaver at bottom right now, and I don't really see any reason why he can't take that lane one-on-one. It's not really that big of a deal. Weaver, of course, is just a natural, easy-to-farm hero. Is never in any real serious danger unless you're against a tri-lane and they put down counters. And that's not the case, so it looks like Shadow Demon is looking to get some pulls and stacks off, but they already have that warded. They actually gave Venomancer the wards, and just to ensure that there aren't any pulling games coming out from that. So really, Shadow Demon is not doing a whole lot middle. I really think he needs to go back to middle and go leave bottom. Meanwhile, over top, we got the Mirana Sand King combo versus the Windrunner Earthshaker combo. And really, I think that lane pulls out kind of even, but that Chen coming in now, Earthshaker's easily going to go down. The arrow didn't even have to hit on that one. Now Windrunner just needs to escape with her life. Beastmaster coming in, throws the nuke, and has the haste to think turn around on this Sand King before he has a stun up, but he already does. Oh, he stuns away, but it doesn't hit anybody. Now they're jumping on this Mirana. The Chen's trying to do work. A couple more hits on this Mirana. Oh, the Earthshaker comes in for that stun, and they pick up a triple kill, knocking all three heroes out of that tri-lane for an Earthshaker, who then promptly came back and ensured the rest of the deaths. Very well done. Team the Tough Bananas pulling out work here with this Beastmaster. Really well done. Able to pick up the haste rune at top. So right now, 4-1 already. Team Megashock is definitely hurting quite a bit. You look at the gold lead, it's already 1,500 in the lead for the Radiant. Shadow Demon doing a little bit of work on this Venomancer, and they're going to have a really offensive lane against this. Actually, might be able to pop this Venomancer. One more hit. Can they get it? The bugs are doing work to him. 2 more health, and he goes down. So now 5-1, and the Shadow Demon Weaver combo actually turns out and does work. I wasn't really expecting Venomancer to put himself in an occasion where he would get down like that. Especially, I didn't really think that Weaver had enough burst to combo well with a Shadow Demon combo of, Disruption, Soul Catcher. But as we see it, I mean, it obviously worked well. I mean, Venomancer is a very squishy hero, and he did get boots first. I guess he was expecting the either a dual lane or a tri-lane bottom with the way he built, both warding and then grabbing boots first. It's sort of a suicide lane escape build. And I'm presuming he was just expecting to be able to throw wards. If they countered, he would just throw his own Venom Plague wards down and just try and get some experience. But he has to play really careful, and actually at top, Mirana taking off the Windrunner with that Wombo combo, with Chen coming in as well to do a little bit of work. Meanwhile, at bottom, they're going to try and jump on this Venomancer. Once again, the bugs don't hit him, so he's definitely going to be safe this time around. Beastmaster came in a little bit late, but he does have his ultimate now, and he pops the ultimate. He's going to come in and easily hit nukes, and Venomancer goes down for a second time at this lane. Beastmaster is just roaming around like a boss. He's picked up every single rune, I think, excluding the double damage, which was still on Windrunner. And it's really paying off. Every single one of those runes has been a decent ganking rune. That one, Illusions, isn't really good ganking rune, but it did give him a full bottle, which is very helpful once he hit level 6. He's able to pop off all those spells. So what's going on right now is really top. This Windrunner Earthshaker lane just needs to be really, really passive, pretty much. Windrunner needs to go forward, try and farm what he can, and Earthshaker cannot get caught out like this. He's the person who's supposed to be protecting Windrunner when this happens. He can't be the one who gets initiated on. He can never be close enough. You have a very long-range stun. You can't let that happen to you. A Sand King at level 2 stun is a 450 range. That's a big difference from Fisher, which is like an 800 range, something crazy. And Windrunner is actually a little bit of trouble here if she gets hit by this stun, but it's actually, she's fine. She's turning this around now with a good power shot. This might be enough. Oh, he lives with 8 health. Can she get the auto attack though? No, all the trees are cleared, so Sand King's actually just fine. And he can turn around in this Mirana, I think. I mean, they have an equal amount of damage here, and combined with the fact that she does have a Windrunner and more nukes up, she can fight this Mirana relatively well. But Beastmaster picking up another kill. Viper, I completely missing out on these kills, guys. Sorry. He picks up that kill with the combo of his ult and axes, and he's just moving around. Once again, he's going to pick up the rune at top, grabbing that double damage. Meanwhile, this Chen really hasn't ganked for middle at all. He has the smoke, which is typical. Unless there are wards up, you don't really need smoke to gank your safe lane. Usually you're just able to sneak in and walk in there and do some work. But usually you use the smoke in order to gank middle, and that's not really happening. He hasn't ganked middle yet, and I think Viper could really benefit from it. I mean, he's already got a slow, so you're going to be able to catch up. Once he gets that first slow onto the Beastmaster, you're just going to be able to pretty much walk in. If you're in a good position, just walk in, and you will be able to hit the stun very easily. Unfortunately, Viper is really behind right now. I mean, Beastmaster picking up all those kills, roaming, you would expect him to have a poor CS and a very poor experience. But the fact that he's gotten kills for every single one of those roams has completely paid off. He's 2 levels above the Viper. And now, actually, a little bit of gank coming in from Chen, but he completely spies that out. Beastmaster is going to be just fine now. And his build coming out, Wild Axes and Inner Beast. He actually might be, he's getting a little ballsy here. He's going to throw the stun. Can he pick up the Chen before the Sand King comes in with his stun? And barely, Chen just barely living, barely missing out on that Earthshaker stun. That was really unfortunate. That should have easily been a kill, but unfortunately Earthshaker just barely missing out, plus a little bit of health that Chen had from auto attacks. But yeah, Inner Beast, no levels into Call of Wild. Very interesting. I mean, this is the sort of build that you would see. Pretty much what it is it pushes out the lane, and you're pretty much guaranteed runes unless the enemy team helps out the Viper. You're guaranteed runes, or else Viper is going to lose experience because he's constantly pushing the wave. The wave is constantly going to be at his tower, all due to that aura. So that means every single time, Viper, right now, look at him. He's having to sit at his tower in order to make sure he gets the CS, while Beastmaster goes bottom. Unfortunately, this Venomancer is going to pick up that runner. I really think Venomancer could have done a lot of harassment there on the top of that Beastmaster if he just thrown a Gale out and chased a little bit. But I suppose he didn't really have any good clue where the Shadow Demon was at. Shadow Demon going to be going the typical maxing build of, maxing support build of Soul Catcher first. He does get one level of poison, which is really good for harassment in the beginning. Sand King might be able to hit a double stun here. This could be good news for him. Arrow, where's the arrow? It's going to be a... Oh, it just misses completely and needs to come out much faster. They might still pick him up here. Chen doing some nice blocks. Well done. If they can hit this stun, Sand King needs to go straight up the cliff and try and hit a stun, blind stun from there. But he's going to just chase him out. Mirana will be able to hit this, and they'll pick up that kill very easily. So now 8-4 now. Earthshaker showing up way too late in order to try and save the Windrunner. And actually at bottom, we're going to see a disruption come out. No, he actually stops it. They might have been able to do some work. I mean, he does have the Swarm maxed out on this Weaver. So they might have been able to do this. Meanwhile, Earthshaker might be in a little bit of trouble. Beastmaster jumping on this Mirana. Stun comes out. They're just trying to stop the stun to hitting Mirana, but it goes out anyway. Now Sand King's in a little bit of trouble. And he's going to have to run away. Beastmaster's just going to back up and take what CS he can. Unfortunately, that Beastmaster's ult just lasts a little bit too long, and Mirana wasn't able to finish off her nukes on that Earthshaker. Rather unfortunate. Beastmaster now level 9. With Tread's bottle and 1,300 gold in the bank. He's doing very, very well. He's pretty much making his team right now. I mean, it's all about the early game with his team. I haven't even talked about the lineup at all. We've got a pretty aggressive, obviously, pretty aggressive lanes coming out from the Radiant side. Roaming around with the Beastmaster. Beastmaster trying to block off the Shen, hoping somebody will get there in time. And if he really does this, if he blocks so hard that Shadow Demon gets a disruption and he doesn't get it off a triple, no, he only hits one. Sand King missing out. He could have hit all three of those heroes there, but instead just hits the Shadow Demon. They're going to be able to pick off that hero, but Viper is in trouble. Trade for one, but can Viper get out at least? There's going to be a nuke up coming in 4 seconds. Oh, barely missing out on the power shot. Now the Chen heal comes out, but it's still, he is low enough that the nukes might be able to kill him. A couple more hits, and there he goes down. Chen trying to help out now. Stun coming out from Beastmaster on top of the Chen. Chen is now in trouble. Oh, big arrow coming out from Miranda. They're going to be able to clean up on this Windrunner kill easily. And then I believe another hero went down. Weaver actually picked off the Venomancer at bottom. While that whole action was going down. 12-6 now. And this is definitely paying off. I mean, Weaver already has his boots, Ring of Aquila, and a Ring of Health to help stay him in lane against a very harassing Veno. So he's doing decently in farm as it stands right now, and his team is just going to be very, very aggressive until he's able to pick up, I'm presuming what he's going to be going is Radiance eventually. I think he's just getting those first bit of items. Which are really helpful in lane, and if necessary, you can come in and do some work. It does give you enough damage and a little bit of survivability to come in and do work. But the typical build is Radiance, and I don't really see him going anything other than that. I mean, I have seen a couple other builds, going straight for Manta and that sort of thing, but I really think he should go that Radiance. I mean, you're facing up against Mirana, who's going to be a very squishy hero, and you're going to be able to chase her down relatively easily as a Weaver. And then Viper, up until he gets some tanky items, is kind of squishy. Especially if you're just able to stick with him. Mirana actually picking up a Windrunner solo kill. Didn't even need the Sand King, who was coming in from behind. Just picks up that kill all by herself, I believe. But let's go over the CS real quick. We got, looking good. Windrunner, 34-4. Oh, okay, it was a stun lock. I guess I just didn't see the assists going to anyone, so I just presumed it was tanking. Anyway. 34-4 on Windrunner versus the 40-4 Mirana. 48-4 Beastmaster against the 59-20 Viper, which is to be expected. Obviously, Viper's just been sitting in lane. He hasn't really ganked hardly at all. He's just been sitting in lane and trying to farm up, but unfortunately, his Beastmaster, normally what should happen in these games is Beastmaster will attempt to gank, but he won't get every single gank off. Now has a Blink Dagger. He's trying to jump into safety. Well done Barely getting that off before the Sand King stuns him. But going back to that, Beastmaster really shouldn't be able to get a kill every single time he roams to a different lane, and that's what happened. Every single time it was a kill. He never once went into a lane and didn't get golden experience from it. And so because of that, Viper should be ahead, but isn't. Beastmaster's 2 levels above him. It definitely has a lot more gold, not with that Blink Dagger. So Viper's just trying to mass out the strength right now, has the power of treads on strength, and plus the Ogre Club. And Beastmaster's lining up for a gank here. He's gonna throw the ult down. Nuke's coming out. Windrunner's gonna hit a shackle shot, easily gonna pick up this kill. Great job. No teleports in from the opposing team. Meanwhile, on top, they're gonna be able to push in this tier 1 tower, so they're gonna at least trade towers, but they don't pick up a kill. So definitely in the favor of the oh man, I forgot the name now of the Radiant side. TTB. I don't even remember. Anyway, they're going to actually press onto this tier 2, and they need to be able to back off and defend this. The Radiant can't really put up the same pushing power as a Chen can, obviously. So they're going to back up here, and Earthshaker might be able to hit a nice, great blocking stun here. He grabs his Arcane Boots. He's going to come in. He really needs to come in and set up the stun. The rest of his team needs to be here as well. Beastmaster coming in. I think that was really a missed opportunity, but now Sankey's gonna get his ult off, and Earthshaker might go down. They're gonna trade kills, maybe a couple more hits. Can he get it? No, the stun comes out from Earthshaker, and that's gonna stop that. So they don't trade 1 for 1 at least. So they do pick up 1 kill. Meanwhile, at bottom, Weaver's chasing down this Venomancer, teleports in, but they're easily gonna be able to pick up that kill. The question is, can Weaver get out? Arrow completely missing, but he still has a chance to get him. The nukes, a couple more hits. Especially with the Venomancer, Weaver being incredibly ballsy here. But of course there's no detection on this Mirana. Look at him, he just needs 1 more hit almost. Depending on how Stout Shield procced. Weaver just being so manly. 2100 gold, so he's going to be picking up a Radiant fairly soon. It's not the typical rushed build. Actually, I shouldn't say typical, because it's more typical to see this build get the Ring of Aquila, which is so good on Weaver. Incredibly good. And then upgraded boots as well. Not necessary. A lot of people choose to forego that, but it did give him a little bit extra stats helping against that Venomancer in the early lane. And then, of course, he did grab a Ring of Health early on, just to help him in lane. But don't think he's going to be finishing off that Vanguard. I think he's just grabbing that pretty much for the laning presence. Just being able to, like, as you see, he's already up to 350 health, and that's pretty much purely through that Ring of Health. And now, we're going to see Viper actually is now at top farming up there. Tanking. Picking up a smoke now. So if they can get some sort of ganks off, they're going to have a hard time in the mid game. Beastmaster farming middle. Now has another 3. He's going to jump on this Venomancer. Venomancer way too far forward. Chen heals come out, but it's not going to be enough, I don't think. He's easily just going to be able to follow up. Meanwhile, Weaver picks up the Mirana kill. Nukes come out, and there goes the Venomancer kill. So another 2 kills, 17-7 now for the Radiant side. Meanwhile, they might be able to pick up this Windrunner. Oh, Viper. Viper was trying to throw his ult, but he doesn't get it off. Now Sand King's at a bit of a pickle here. He's invis, but he needs to be able to walk away once he sees the opportunity. And now the tower, tier 2 tower is going to go down. That's exactly what the Dire need at this point. Team Megashock needs to grab as many towers as possible at this point. Unfortunately, they have no other tier 1 towers. They grabbed the tier 2, but middle tier 1 and bottom tier 1, which are really important ones. They're really important towers. Top towers, as the Radiant side, you could really care less. They don't provide a whole lot of protection. And if you can keep the lane back as far as possible, then that's great. Because then you're just able to sit right next to your base, and it's very hard to gank, and that means that you're denying a whole entire lane of experience and gold from the Dire. A little bit of pods coming out. We're going to see the smoke ganks coming in from behind on this Windrunner. Unless she makes some epic plays of Windrun teleport, she's easily going to go down, which is a shame because she's so close to her push stick. If she had that, she would definitely be in a much better position. Being able to push stick over cliffs and that sort of thing. Let's go over items real quick. We have Chen is nearing his mech. He just needs the recipe. As I said, Windrunner, push stick. We've got a large bit of gold on Beastmaster, but he still only has the Blink Dagger. We have Arcane Boots on Earthshaker. Not a whole lot else on that team. Of course, Weaver has a large stack of gold as well. Venomancer has Arcane Boots, Viper, Ogre Club. Mirana, working towards the Yasha. Just needs the recipe now. And tanking, absolutely nothing. He's got boots and a magic wand. So that kind of goes to show you, look in the gold graphs, you almost got a 5,000 lead on the Radiant. Even greater experience lead, almost 8,000. And really what happens is, during a time when the Dire should be kind of crushing. As I see these lineups going, I'm seeing it as the Radiant should win early laning phase, and then the Dire should win sort of that late laning phase going into the mid game. Windrunner gonna get jumped on here, easily gonna pass out. And they should be winning the game. They should be sort of dominating the map up until the point where Weaver gets Radiance. Picking up the kill in the middle of the gank from Weaver and Beastmaster. Too much for this Venomancer with absolutely no escape mechanisms. Just getting crushed now. And they're pushing in the tier 2. Which is so rough for the Dire. They just have zero map control at this point. Mirana's just trying to farm up Yasha. Sitting there at bottom, trying to push in the wave. But we're gonna see the rest of the Radiant team sort of commit to this tower. You've got 4 middle now. So they're either going to be ganking or pushing, and it looks like they are going to back off now and maybe try and gank this Mirana. They're just grouping up as a 4-man. Now with the Sacred Relic on Weaver, so he just needs another 800 and some for the Radiants. And really looking at the Dire side, you gotta wonder, what can they do? And the best thing for them to do right now is just try and put pressure and take down towers before that Radiance comes out. Because once that Radiance comes out, that's going to be a long time, especially with how early it is, with the additional items that Weaver already has. It's going to be a long time until they can really try and take over the map again. And they're just going to have to turtle for a very long time until, until they have the items that they require. Because until then, the Weaver's just going to gobble them up every single time, unless they can somehow get ganks off on her. But really, they don't have ganking items. Tanking just does not have his Blink Dagger whatsoever. They're doing a very good job defending middle tier 1. They're just throwing out spamming spells at this point, just killing the creeps. So Dire not able. I mean, look at it. You've got 5 heroes. I don't know. Chen really isn't tanking the tower with his creeps as it stands right now. And meanwhile, their bottom tier 2 is being pushed in, and they have 5 people middle not farming, not pushing. They're not really doing anything. They're just pretty much team farming a single wave of creeps every single time. But maybe this is the moment. Now we have a whole bunch of wards up, so now we're going to see them pushing in finally. Doing some damage to the tower. Beastmaster throwing out the axes again. They're just trying to keep the creeps off as much as possible. Tanking, missing out on a stun. Windrunner looking for opportunity to shackle shot 2 people. But isn't going to see it. So wisely, the Radiant not forcing a fight there. They just try and delay the tower as much as possible from going down, and allowing the Weaver to farm. Now has his Radiance. Now all he needs is tanking items, pretty much. If he's able to pick up a hood, that'll be very helpful. Along with, he can finish off that Vanguard because he really does need a little bit of health at this point. He really does. But we'll have to see what he can go. Mirana pushing back. Top tier 1. Now it's 1800 gold. So trying to work for that Manta. Gonna be able to pick up the ultimate orb fairly soon. Just another 200 gold. And now we're going to see the Dire trying to maximize their farm here by trying to do Ancients. Unfortunately, the Hawk spying them out already. So Beastmaster's in a great position. Now has a hood. Is going to be building pipe for his team fairly soon. So Weaver doesn't necessarily have to go that. He can go for some other tanking items at this point. As long as he's depending heavily on his Beastmaster being able to get that pipe off every single time. Otherwise, he could just go a hood. And they're going to jump on this Sand King. The question is, can Sand King get out with a stun? Barely missing out there. and he's going to get sent home, hopefully before bugs kill him. So he's going to be just fine. And now pushing in the tier 2. Actually, Windward's going to back off and try and save the tier 3 being pushed in at top. Mirana doing a very good job split pushing as much as possible, trying to direct the Radiant's attention as much as possible. Weaver, a bit caught out, but he's of course Shukuchi. Combined with the fact that really the Dire don't have stuns, especially up to the fact that Sand King does not have portal. Oh man, I almost said that. Blink Dagger. He doesn't have Blink Dagger. He just needs another 500. They don't have stuns for this Weaver, and Weaver is so good against teams that don't have stuns. Shukuchi does not care if you have slows. Not whatsoever. So he's going to be farming the jungle. Look at him go. He's just radiancing everything. And he does finish off that Vanguard, so that is another 250 HP points, which I think is a pretty smart idea. Some Weavers don't do that, but it's really required to have that little bit of health. And look at him. He's just going to jump on these guys, and they can't really do a whole lot. BKB on Viper isn't going to help him out that much. Mirana jumping in. This could be the opportunity. They could pop Weaver here. Stun coming out. Weaver in a huge trouble if they can't get his ult off, and he does go down. Really misplay. Big misplay by that Weaver. I don't know why. He was just assuming that the 3 heroes were all that was going to be there. On top of that, Chen heal was still up, so it couldn't really dive on this Viper. Viper picking up BKB if I didn't quite get that out during that team fight. Fanta gonna come out in another 1,000 gold for that Mirana, so that'll be helpful at least. And they're gonna be able to take this tier 1 at bottom. Windrunner is pushing the tier 1 at top, but Venomancer teleports up there. He's gonna be able to defend it relatively easily. So they aren't gonna trade whatsoever, and they might be able to. No, actually, Viper's gonna teleport back. He's a little bit too low, and on top of that, tier 2 is being pushed in by the Beastmaster. A lot of split pushing going down. A lot. Sand King teleporting out just before the Windrunner hits the shackle shot. There was another second or two out. Oh no, I missed that. Viper getting down by this Beastmaster. Mirana arrow barely missing out. And Venomancer really needs to start rotating over there. I think they could have caught out this. Oh, actually, never mind. He does have Blink Dagger. Forgot about that. So really, they couldn't have caught him out at any point in time, ever. We see Weaver joining the rest of his crew. If they can pick off a Roshan at any point, it's kind of hard because they don't have the Dire advantage. What I refer to as the Dire advantage is just having Roshan in their side of the map. Especially if you have Blinks, you have what's called the Dire advantage, where you can get to the Roshan very, very quickly and defend it relatively easily. Especially with being able to spam. We see an arrow coming out, so they know that Roshan is being downed right now, only at half health, so really the Radiant can't commit at this point. But it was a nice little attempt, very well done, backing out, just in, you know, not trying to stay or anything. They can pick up Roshan, you know, why not? It's going to be very helpful to this Weaver, especially given the fact that does seem to be a little bit suicidal. We're going to see the Mirana ulti coming out here. I think they went forward a little bit too soon, because they definitely saw him, especially with the creeps coming out. I think they might have seen the heroes coming down from the cliff, fading away, but now it looks like they're going to try and take Roshan for themselves, and this is a very ballsy move. So coming out from Sand King, he's going to try and hide himself from the Hawk as much as possible, because he does have the Blink Dagger, and this could be a huge turnaround. They're trying to bait something here, but they just can't get split like this. Viper is now being caught out by a shackle shot. Weaver taking a lot of damage. Sand King coming in with his ult, but unfortunately the pipe takes a lot of damage on top of that disruption, saving the Windrunner from going down. Mirana trying to do what work he can. He's going to be chasing the Shadow Team, but meanwhile Weaver's going to gobble up the rest of his crew. Sand King easily going to go down here. Mirana turning back around after he picked up the Sand King, but Weaver taking a lot of damage there. Mirana's just standing and fighting. The arrow going off, hitting the Beastmaster. He's going to be able to pick up that kill. The question is, can Weaver pick off Mirana? He will be able to. One more hit. And now from here on out, he's got 400 health. He can easily clean up the Chen now. Oh, Viper coming in. He picks off the Viper again. This ballsy Weaver had to know Viper was back up and coming in. And now with a gem on Viper, they're going to try and take on this Roshan. It only has 3,500 health. with only 2 heroes, so it's going to be a long time coming. On top of that, if Earthshaker does what he's about to do, put a little harassment on these guys. Look at it. 1,000 health. Can Earthshaker get there in time? I might even be able to steal the gold. I was hoping he was going to pick up the Venomancer kill, but he does what he can. He knows he can't really disrupt Roshan being taken too quickly. So the Dire, big turnaround with that Blink Dagger. That was definitely a big help. On top of that, now with Aegis, BKB, Yasha, and Gem on this Viper. He's loving life right now. He is loving life. Back on Chen. We'll go over the rest of the items here real quick. We've got a push stick on Windrunner. On top of the typical phase boots. Beastmaster, of course, Blink, and Pipe. Shadow Demon just warding, of course. Earthshaker still doesn't have his Blink Dagger. Has the Arcane Boots. And Weaver with the Vanguard Radiance. And we're going to see Venomancer now working his way towards a Pipe. Almost has it, just needs the recipe at this point. Actually, a top. About to say Mirana was going to throw an arrow, but completely misses out on that one. Mirana finishing up her Manta. Wow. That team fight really turned things around for the Dire quite a lot. Gave them a lot of gold. Mirana was able to finish up her Manta. They're very, very helpful. And now I'm not quite so sure with that one team fight, really. Especially with Aegis on the Viper and Weaver throwing away a lot of gold twice in a row. I'm not so sure. So, talking is not working out for me. I'm not so sure that the Radiant have the advantage at this point. With those big pickups of Manta, Blink on Sand King. I mean, maybe if the Earthshaker can pick up his Blink, but he's nowhere close. He is still another 1,000 gold away from Blink.
Structures are fortified.
Venomancer trying to stop this Weaver from taking tier 2, but nothing, not a lot he can do. As a hero with no escape and not a whole lot of tankiness to physical damage, not a whole lot he can do. But they do at least are able to defend the tier 1 at top. And again, just like I was talking about, that's the important towers up there for the Dire. The top towers are the important ones for the Dire, the bottom ones are the important ones for the Radiant, because it secures your jungle very, very well. Because if you ever have somebody roaming into their jungle, sure they might pick off a hero, but if they don't, you're going to have teleports in from the tier 2, teleports in from the tier 1, and if you get someone blocking out the river, you're going to be able to surround them. Windrunner taking a lot of bit of harassment, arrow comes out, but that's one's gonna miss. Calculus almost ran right back into it, actually. I believe that is a freshly finished mech on Windrunner. Don't think that was up last time I identified. Weaver picking up another tier 2, so let's just hope he doesn't throw away all that gold that he's picked up from 2 tier 2s in a row. No suicidal Weavers this time, hopefully. And Beastmaster's actually jump in on the Sand King. Sand King needs to be able to hit a stun out. And again, I don't know, I think he could have stunned on that Beastmaster. Viper would have gotten there in time, and then it would have been a fight, pretty much, between the Venomancer and the Viper, and the Weaver and the Beastmaster. And really, at any point, if they felt like they were losing the fight, and they weren't able to pick up a hero, I mean, their base is right there. No one's going to get that ballsy and dive to tier 3 at 30 minutes. At least, hopefully not. Not at this level of play. Both teams knowing the other's rather skilled, and especially to make it this far. Of course, a lot of people have heard of Team Megashock, and I don't know why the other team is just slipping for me right now. It's the Tough Bananas, that's right. You'd think with a little quirky name like that, I would be able to remember it relatively easily. So hopefully we're going to see a Reaver being picked up fairly soon on Weaver. He really needs a lot more health to be able to survive, especially that they don't have the Aegis of Immortal. And we're going to see the tier 2 at middle pressed in. Weaver coming in from behind, trying to defend this tower. The question is, can Team Megashock really force this? It's going to be all up to Sand King. And he's only level 1. Versus a Pipe, pretty much his ultimate does nothing at this point. If the Beastmaster gets off the pipe, his ult does absolutely nothing. We're gonna see an ult coming out from Mirana actually trying to save herself from the Shadow Demon Windrunner Weaver ganks, but she exchanges herself in order for the tier 2 at middle.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So hoping they could pick off the Mirana and then get back to middle in time. That doesn't pay out. So that was definitely a gold advantage for the Dire. Trading a hero for a tower is definitely worth it, especially tier 2. Of course, it would be much better if they could do it without using a hero, but de la vie. Vanomancer. Finishing off his pipe. Django's now on Chen. I really gotta stop calling him Django's. That's a Dota 1 name. Drums of Endurance. What else? What else? We're gonna have Viper flying himself out the Manta. Yep, there it is. There comes the courier. And looks like we might finally see these tier 1s coming down. Unless we see a lot of teleports right now, this tier 1's easily going to go down. Mirana's going to put herself in a very bad position trying to defend this. I don't think she realizes that people are going to be coming in from behind and everything. She doesn't have a teleport out, so she's easily going to go down here. But again, can they trade this for a tower? They're at least going to be able to do some chip damage to this tier 3. Already seeing teleports in, and the tier 1 is already down, so... And unless the teams don't have teleports, Windrunner is actually being jumped on with the ultimate. With push stick, though, she dodges all of that damage easily. No follow-up stun from anybody, because Mirana is dead. Viper gonna be teleported back. Great move by Chen. Popping the Manta and then instantly getting teleported back. Teleports. Chen, he gets caught out by this disruption from Shadow Demon. So at least they pick off 1 kill there. So 2 down pretty much for nothing for the Dire side. Really big mistake. Trying to defend that tier 1. On top of that, getting caught out, pushing the tier 3. Not what you want to see. Now maybe if Mirana had, instead of teleported, had just try and run to bottom. Maybe. Or maybe have just gone into the jungle and farmed. It might have been a little bit better, but hindsight being 2020. What else? We got Shadow Demon now with phase boots. Not really a big fan. Not a big fan of phase boots on Shadow Demon. Just like I'm not really a big fan of phase boots on Crystal Maiden. But if you can get it without your team needing mana boots, which I really feel they do. But Earthshaker's the only one with mana boots as it stands right now. I mean, Weaver doesn't have a whole lot of mana problems this late in the game, but still. Beastmaster and Windrunner and Earthshaker are all going to benefit from it. Meanwhile, we got a whole bunch grouped up mid and a whole bunch grouped up at bottom rune area. Mirana missing the arrow. Son of a. And they're going to try and push in this bottom. Just kind of like pushing in the wave real quick and then backing off. Really, if they can bide their time until Aegis is down, it won't be too much longer. Unfortunately, I forgot to write down the time. I always do. Really gotta get into the habit. What else? Viper getting really ballsy here. He does have the Aegis, so he can bait something here. Windrunner gets caught out by the arrow. Mirana blows the ult now, so it's gonna be kind of hard to target these guys. They don't have any way of vision. Actually, they have counters up. Beastmaster looking for an opportunity to blink in. I don't know if his blink dagger was just down or if they just couldn't see him, but Windrunner did have the gem, so they should have been at least just about 1 or 2 heroes. Arrow coming in, popping out the Beastmaster, and the Viper is teleporting in now, popping his BKB and Beastmaster. Oh my goodness. He gets completely dodged that. The ultimate comes out. Now they're trying to jump on this Viper. Weaver's trying to pop the Viper. There he goes. The Aegis is going to come back up. Venomancer hitting a huge ultimate now. Viper's going to come right back, and now it's a 5-on-5 again. Chen is down. Weaver might be getting caught out here. The ultimate goes off. Can they pop him? No, they can't. Look at the disruption going out, and now Viper's going to have to back out. 3-on-5 now. And they're completely going to have to get out here. Viper is taking some damage now from Beastmaster, but he can turn on this. The rest of his team isn't following up. Verana missing the arrow, but she's back up. They can defend the racks at least. They're chasing in on this Venomancer instead of trying to take a barracks. They do pick it up at least, but Venomancer instantly buys back. No teleport though. They're just going to try and defend this bottom, but really I think Viper and Mirana will be able to do it just fine. I don't think we're going to be seeing any attempts to keep moving. Sorry about that. Got a little distracted. I got distracted by my ferret. Yeah, that's right. I have a ferret. Because my landlord won't allow cats or dogs. So I got a ferret. Yeah. Fighting the man. Roshan is up. If Dire can pick that up, that'll definitely be a huge boost. Obviously it didn't pay off that well, but really at this point it's about survival. Earthshaker is going to be trying to work its way to an Axe. I'd much rather see a Veil. That's something that I don't think a lot of teams, they don't get enough Veils. Really disappointing. They're going to be able to pick that up. Really, because Veil isn't just your ult, first of all, and especially with Earthshaker's ult, I'm not a really big fan of Aghanims on it. It doesn't really give him that much extra damage, and I think a Veil, which is easier to build, cheaper amount of gold, and also helps out all your other abilities as well as your teammates' abilities. I think that's really just a much better choice, but a lot of teams just not completely ignoring the fact that there is that item, especially with the buff that it received, where it didn't require, it doesn't require 2 mantles now, I believe that's what it is. I should know, I get it enough. Yeah, it doesn't require 2 Robe of Magi, excuse me. Not Mantle of Intelligence, Robe of Magi. Or the Magi. Let's see, items. What else do we have picked up? Not a whole lot. Drums of Endurance on Shadow Demon. And there's the Reaver on Weaver. As well as the Manta. So there's that little extra bit of health. Of course, Manta and Reaver. 2 really big items on him. He's able to pretty much survive in these team fights, and then of course Manta being able to disjoint a lot of damage. I believe it takes away Venomancer's ult, as well as some other things, also being able to dodge abilities such as Arrow. Ah, man. So pretty much farming, let's take a look at the gold difference. We got just short of 7,500 at this point for the Radiant. Similar go with the Experience, 15,000. For the Radiant, which is expected when they win these team fights. They shouldn't really be so far ahead in gold, but definitely in experience. We're going to see a Sheepstick being picked up by Windrunner actually fairly soon. She just needs another 600. So that'll be a huge pickup for her. Meanwhile, Viper does have that Aegis once again. And the fact that I don't believe he died in that team fight. He went down with the Aegis, but he didn't die after that. Very helpful. He's able to pick up a Reaver himself now, matching the Weaver's farm.
Running with the pack.
And really, right now, it's just a farm fest. I think both teams are trying to finish off their items. Sheepstick, very important for the Radiant side. Just having that extra disable is so huge. And then, what else? Really, Beastmaster hasn't progressed in his items at all. I think if this was earlier and he had secured that original gold lead that he had, he could have been able to... actually, he's picking up Assault Cuirass right now. So, excuse me, I was wondering where else all his items were. Because it was like the last 15 minutes that he hadn't gotten an item. So, Assault Cuirass, that's a huge pickup. Because he's going to be right in the middle of all of them, and a 5 armor reduction is going to add so much to Weaver. Top of that being naturally tankier, and a target for all is always good. So it has a lot of magic reduction, a lot of physical reduction. All he needs is a little bit of health, and he is a true tank. Of course, how many people hate that term in Dota? Tank. Really, the only tank is Axe. He's the only person who really draws aggro, truly. We see Earthshaker farming up. He's not going to be anywhere near an Aegis, though, anytime soon. Cheapstick picked up on Windrunner. Beastmaster getting caught out here at the top rune point. He's not going to be able to do anything. Weaver coming in, actually doing a huge amount of damage to this Mirana while she's stunned, but she's easily going to get out. The teleport actually comes in. And I think they could have just tried to keep going on this Weaver. I mean, Mirana had to back up, sure. But, unfortunately, where's the gem at? Viper has it. They already threw a lot of spells, I guess. And of course, Shukuchi's no good versus slows. Or is very good. Slows aren't good against Shukuchi, is what I mean to say. Viper taking a lot of damage from this Weaver, of course. The bugs are on top of him. And really, Weaver's just going to force the Manta and continue farming. Can't really chase. What else? What else? What else? We got Demon Edge being picked up by Mirana, so she's going that typical glass cannon style. Hopefully she doesn't get targeted, so she can just pew-pew with MKB eventually. Really, once she picks up those items, and Viper finishes off his heart, like this game, I'm not so sure, not so sure that the Radiant has the late game. When I originally looking at this lane, I was sort of expecting Weaver to dominate with Radiance, and then they had to end before it went too late. Now, they have a big buffer of time. I think you can go until, like, the 60-minute mark, depending on how the game goes. I think you can keep the game going that late, and they'll still definitely have the advantage, and they don't have to worry about racks until that point. But, still, in the end, in the very, 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 very late game, I think Mirana and Viper are going to come out reigning supreme. I don't know, it's hard to tell. Weaver does a lot of damage, and of course you've got some really great versatility coming in from Windrunner. And then on top of that, Shadow Demon, easily one of the best support heroes who scales into the late game. Of course, Disruption and Soul Catcher scale beautifully into the late game. Soul Catcher, always good, and then Disruption only gets better with time. And now maxing out his poison because he's just now hitting level 12. But really, that's not a big deal. He has the 2 levels into what he needs. Disruption and Soul Catcher and some Purge. Viper being jumped down now by the Beastmaster and the Weaver. He might be able to pick up this kill. The Aegis, can it go off? The ult's coming out from Chen. Okay, they picked off him. The question is, can they pick off anybody else? Beastmaster teleporting away. The Sand King comes in. And now they're going to be able to pick up a Beastmaster in exchange for the Aegis. That was great. That's a decent exchange. Beastmaster, that was so close to being wonderful for the Radiant, because if Beastmaster had been able to teleport out, that would be a huge move. They picked up the Aegis for absolutely nothing, if that had happened. Unfortunately, Beastmaster getting off, they traded him for the Aegis, and so now they're going to have to play cautious for the next bit of 60 seconds, till Beastmaster comes back up, but then they can start getting aggressive if they want to. They don't have to fight against an Aegis, and they can try and take this tier 3 at bottom, which Windrunner is now DPSing down. Where's the teleports? There goes the glyph, and Windrunner is easily going to get out. Need to pay a little bit closer attention to that one. Chen is actually getting teleported on, or teleporting out from the Weaver. Weaver now with heart and another 3k gold. So she can pick up some extra deeps with that. Mirana fishing off her MKB, that was a fast one. And now another 2,400 gold. So very nice pickup. Weaver is teleporting top now to get that farm. And really it's just a farm game as right now. Teams are going to play little pokes and pods, but I don't think either one is really confident in their late game or confident in their push. I mean, it's definitely apparent that the Radiant isn't when they should be the ones right now ready to go and try and push down towers. They're not so sure about it. And I agree. I mean, it's very hard to tell who's going to win out in the late game at this point. Normally, I would say Mirana. But with the combination of Weaver plus Shadow Demon and all the extra support that's coming in from Windrunner and Beastmaster, maybe they don't have to rush it. Maybe they can take their time and wait for the Dire to push in. They don't want to make mistakes right now. This is the biggest thing. Neither team can make a mistake. The Dire does not want to give up a team fight and get raxed. Because there, it's pretty much, now you're really in deep shit, and you have to go really late game.
Dire's top
But
tower
at the
is
same
under
time, the
attack.
Radiant doesn't want to give up their lead that they very clearly have. They have to be very careful and cautious with these pushes, because if they get wiped in some sort of team fight here, that could be a lot of things. That could be the Radiant taking over, or excuse me, the Dire, Team Megashock taking over the map. Pretty much trading places, and maybe they would be the ones on the defensive if they lose a team fight. Windrunner now doing little pokes and prods to this tier 3 tower. We're going to see lots of teleports in. So we are going to have the first real push into a base. Jumping on Windrunner, trying to do what work he can, but push stick is a little bit too good for those slows coming out from Viper. Sand King sitting in his Sandstorm does have his level 2 ultimate up with the Blink Dagger, and he's going to be able to pick up, he's going for the Veil. Very smart move, man.
Radiant's bottom tower
Again,
is under attack.
much better, in my opinion, than Aghanims. And I think Aghanims is better on Sand King than it is on Earthshaker. Ward's coming out from Venomancer. He's just trying to force back this wave, and look at him. Beavers taking out the tier 3 very, very slowly. Oh, Arrow though. Can they pop a disruption? Huge disruption by the Shadow Demon. And they're actually going to keep jumping on this Weaver. They do pick up a nice Sand King stun, but Weaver is going to be able to hold. Can he do it? He actually doesn't have to. Oh my goodness, Earthshaker coming in with a huge stun. And now Weaver is right back up. Piranha, look at all the work she's doing. Windrunner has nowhere to go. She's getting popped by MKB so easily. Shadow Demon needs to back out now, as well as Beastmaster. Beastmaster is definitely going to go down here. There's no real way he can escape unless he gets a blink off. Oh, he had a half a second there where it was up. And now, what is the Shadow Demon doing? He's sacrificing his Weaver is actually coming back in from that buyback. She's finally here, and they're turning on this team fight. Mirana's going to go down. Viper's going to go down. A huge turnaround. Huge turnaround. That's what chases do to you. Oh my goodness. For a second there, I was like, what's Shadow Demon doing? But he is clearly paying much better attention to the map than I was. I knew Weaver bought back, but man, Shukuchi just getting there so fast. Well done by Weaver, and he's easily, maybe actually, buybacks coming in, both Mirana and Viper. If it was just the Viper by himself, might be able to defend, but Mirana coming in, they definitely will be able to Sand King, hitting the stun. Now she's trying to jump on the Beastmaster, who's very low. Slow coming out, so once Shukuchi's down, he's not going to be going anywhere. He actually throws the ultimate, and now he's going to sacrifice himself for the melee. No, he's not. He's going to back out and go through middle. Maybe. What's he doing? He's actually turning around on the Chen. The Beastmaster roll goes down there, but is it worth it if he can get out? The slow's coming out. Look at all the damage. Once he's done here, he's going to be so slowed. Stun coming out from Sand King. Wait for it. Oh, no. They don't know where he went. The Viper did not keep chasing, and Sand King did not try and throw a blind stun. That could have been a huge turnaround if they were able to pick up that Weaver. But as it stands right now, they're okay because they did defend Barracks, and that's the important thing. They might have lost the towers, but Barracks was important. Let's see, Viper with that buyback still has the same old items. Weaver with his buyback though has 5,500, and on top of that, with the finally they had the map control to be able to take the Roshan themselves. But let's see what happens here. The Dire's done a very good job guarding the Roshan, and I think if this Roshan is picked up by the Weaver, it's going to be so huge. It's going to be so hard to defend against that, and the arrow comes out, but they don't get to it in time, so the Weaver does grab this Aegis. And that should have been cheese. Yep, there's the cheese on Windrunner. And as well as the Maelstrom. So now she's going, after she picked up all that utility, mech, force staff, and sheep, there's not a whole lot left for her, and she's going to be able to go. She's going to be able to go for the DPS items with her ultimate. 6,500 gold plus an Aegis. See, they can just pretty much push in left and right. If they wanted to, they can even split push. They're obviously not going to try and push in middle unless it's sort of a split push where Weaver is just sitting there in front and then the rest of the team goes top. Drawing the attention of Venomancer wards and everything. Mirana actually popping the ultimate, and they might be able to come in here and do some work. If they catch him off by surprise, Sand King needs to be able to try and hit an ult right now, but he doesn't hit it. Huge play by this Beastmaster, instantly spying out that Sand King and stops the ultimate. Now, Windrunner running away as fast as humanly possible. Weaver right in the middle of the thick of it. He does have the Aegis as well as his ult. Pops the ult now, only has the Aegis. Meanwhile, the rest of the team kind of backing off here. Weaver jumping back in, but nobody has anything. The arrow misses. Might be able to pop this Beastmaster though. Can they do a disruption? Saving him now. The BKB being popped. Earthshaker hitting a ultimate. Unlucky one. Venomancer only one. Not a very good ultimate whatsoever, and he's going to pay for it. Easily going down. Meanwhile, Viper's jumping on this Windrunner. One more hit. Cheese actually being popped. Now can they turn on this? No, they can't. The rest of the team's jumping in now. Weaver needs to back off. He doesn't want to lose that Aegis. He's actually jumping in. He's going to trade himself for the Mirana potentially. Actually not trade himself at all. Look at all the damage coming out from this Weaver. Huge. I'm really surprised he came back in, given the fact that he left in the first place. Windrunner now being jumped on. Sand King gonna be able to follow that one. Viper's so close. He's gonna have his ultimate. Oh, huge shackle shot, and that's gonna get Windrunner away easily. He's gonna be able to grab a Weaver, meanwhile doing some serious work. He picks up both the Mirana kill earlier, and now the Chen. The Chen, poor guy. You gotta feel for him, because really, he's been sort of getting suicided on. I mean, last time that was the Beastmaster ult thrown on top of the Weaver, and then Weaver in the middle of the base. And this time, Weaver goes in from way behind, and once again takes out the Chen. Poor guy. If he just had the proper team support and maybe some stuns, they would be much better against this Weaver. But as it stands right now, still, Rax still not down. 53 minutes in. And obviously the Dire is feeling the pressure of trying to scramble and defend these racks. The question is, does the Radiant feel the pressure? Do they feel that going late game, I mean, Weaver is going to max out. I love being able to say that. I love being able to say in a legitimate game where both teams are sort of even, that one of the strategies that you can legitimately wait for is a hero maxing out. Look at him, he is dataless. He's not going to be able to pick up a whole lot with that Aegis on him. And so the question is, do they wait and sit around? Because as it stands right now, they're not, the Radiant side is very behind in golden items. As it stands, they're at a 12,000 gold disadvantage. 12,000. They might be able to pick up this Windrunner though, and that'll be huge. If they can stop the Windrunner, she might not have a buyback after this, so we're going to see her try and throw as many push sticks and etc., but definitely not. Oh, actually! Oh, barely going down. The Sand King hits the last hit right as Windrun goes off, and right before the teleport goes off, they pick up that kill. So the question is, the Radiant, are they going to back up here, or are they going to take advantage of the position of the Dire that they put themselves in? They're all kind of outside, and they all have to teleport back in. They're not going to be able to push this tier 3. Teleports in were too quick. Nobody was caught out without a teleport, which is very, very good to see. I like it.
Invisibility.
Anyway, going back to this, I mean, with time, people are going to be able to pick up crucial items on the Dire side. At this point, the Radiant's just picking up extra items. Nobody has a crucial item that they need picked up. It's all luxury from this point on. Beastmaster jumping in on this Mirana. They're going to try and pop her. Venomancer popping the pipe. This saves the damage from the Earthshaker. Mirana popping the Manta. Can he get out? No, he gets chain stunned, so 2 down. They trade. The Windrunner got caught up at top, and now those two got caught out at bottom, so it's going to be a 3v4 defense at the bottom racks. The buybacks, they do at least force that. So the question is, are they going to force just the buybacks, or are they going to go 4-4? And it looks like they just wanted to force the buybacks. They're not going to try and keep on going. They actually forced another buyback from Venomancer, and that's pretty big. They weren't going to keep pushing, so Venomancer's buyback was, of course they didn't know that. All they could really see was the Shadow Demon and the Weaver. They didn't see the Beastmaster and Earthshaker backing up. So, unfortunate buyback, but better to be safe than sorry. And now they're just going to go back to farming. Windrunner is back up, so but now it's back to a 5-on-5 situation. Buybacks are down now. Down. That could be pretty key. I mean, if they take out the Mirana right now, she's gone. And she's gone for good, pretty much. Practically, I'm sure it's like a 70-second revive by now. 56 minutes in, 39 to 26. With over around a 14,000 gold lead for the Radiant, and and of course this is what happens. Experience just seriously drops. The gold lead you could keep climbing, but the experience lead just doesn't stop. With the way that the experience is given, and team fights, experience is back down to about a 6,000 lead. And really that isn't big of a deal at this point. Who cares if you are level 24 or level 25? It's only a little bit of stats. Items and gold are the key thing. And Sand King actually not picking up the veil, he picks up drums. Not sure if I'm a big fan of that. Drums are gonna add to his carries, yes. But I really think that he hit level 16. If he had a veil at this point, his ult might actually be doing some damage. I know they're very tanky, they have pipe and that sort of thing, but you know, that little bit of extra damage could be key. We're able to see smoke coming out from the Dire, or excuse me, Radiant. Just all over the place right now. 6,500 gold. Weaver's pretty much maxed out at this point. He's going to be dropping the Aegis here in the team fight. Viper, if he gets caught out here, if he goes down, he's going to try and pop Manta, but the shackle shot keeps him locked down. Mirana ulti, huge play. They just now throwing down the counters. Viper's going to be able to pop the BKB, and he's going to try and turn on this a little bit. Weaver's trying to pop him out, and now if they can just get out, maybe. Weaver actually even popping the ultimate there. He still has the Aegis, so if he can dive for this Viper, he doesn't actually dive. He's going to turn around, maybe pick up Sand King. Sand King needs to be able to hit his stun up the cliff. He has a stun. Teleport actually coming out. So they save the Viper. And now if they could just heal up real quick and defend middle, but middle is the place with the tier 3 tower. So they have some time. I'm sure they have a glyph up. Jumping in, there goes the glyph. At the same time as they jump in, that's a little bit of waste. Probably should have used it earlier. Now let's see if they can pick out this Windrunner. He tries to hit a block off. Stun coming out. He does hit the stun. The question is this going to pay off? The Mirana arrow does not hit. And so they don't get that pick up. Meanwhile at bottom, Weaver taking the opportunity to try and finally take a melee Rex. They're jumping in on him. He's going to try and shade his Aegis for this one. And no, he doesn't. He's in those positions where he can trade it if he wants to for a melee, but it's too risky. He's gonna jump in. He's jumping in on the Venomancer now. He gets stunned by the Sand King. That wasn't worth it. You didn't trade yourself for anything now. The Aegis goes now. The Beastmaster jumping in on this Mirana. Can they pop her before? Oh, there goes the Earthshaker hitting a huge ultimate as the teleport goes off. It saves the Mirana just in time. She doesn't have a buyback, but she's gonna come right back after a heal. Meanwhile, Viper, he pops the Manta, dodging a little bit of damage, but he's gonna go down anyway. But he does have a buyback. I'm sure of that one. Sand King trying to get out, throws the stun. They're going to chase in, but the melee Rax goes down. Now Mirana and Viper, full health, are going to be coming back in now. Teleports coming in, but look at this Weaver just doing so much work. He has an ultimate now. He used his ultimate early on in the fight. He pops it, and now is going to be able to get away. So they don't pick up any kills for that. They popped an Aegis pretty much, but I don't think anybody went down on the Radiant side. And on top of that, the Radiant picked up melee and range Rax. It's just crazy how strong Weaver is. Absolutely crazy. He picked up the gem. And Jolner now on Windrunner. So now she has even more damage. She see a little lightning bolts every single time she focus fires. Pew pew. Double damage on Weaver. That's rough. Maybe a Roshan can turn things around for the Dire side. They are definitely at a huge disadvantage. If they can maybe push this to 85 minutes, you know, maybe we'll see them pushing the Radiant base. But as it stands right now, you know, 85 minutes is going to be where Weaver's definitely maxed out, and all he has gold for is buybacks, which is hugely inefficient. And we're not going to see really a whole lot of key items left. Weaver is going to be able to pick this up, but they hit the arrow just before the Aegis is up. Pops the Aegis, they grab it on Viper, and now can they kill the Weaver? This is a huge turnaround. Disruption doesn't hit, and Weaver goes down. He buys back. Bye-bye by Windrunner getting targeted by this Mirana with the MKB. Sand King gonna have a blink up, and he pops the cheese on Windrunner. Now trying to turn around, Shadow Demon gets picked off, and can they pick off this Windrunner? If they can, this could be a huge turnaround. 10 Chen gonna get mobbed down here very easily by the Weaver. And so they don't pick up the Windrunner, and instead they leave Chen to die. Really unfortunate there. Stuns coming out. Creeps are in the way for the arrows. Popping the ultimate now. Weaver's just so ballsy. Where's the Earthshaker stun? There it is. A huge ultimate Earthshaker. Coming in, popping out 2 heroes. The Aegis is going to come back though, but he's right in the middle of 4 heroes. He's just going to get mobbed down to this popping BKB. Where's the help? Mirana's low. He's going to have no help whatsoever, and he's just getting blocked. Look at him. And what was once maybe a huge turnaround point for the Dire, they stick around a little bit too long, and now they're going to lose 2 racks. And this is probably going to be GG well played. 2 racks down is sort of the typical GG point. No team really tries to come back from 2 racks unless they know they can win team fights, and they're going to force one right away. So guys, this is the best of 3, so don't go anywhere. Jesus, so 62-minute game. 62 minutes of talking. I'm gonna go ahead and take a break real quick, but we'll be right back with game 2. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you in just a bit.
Radiant victory.